On the back of the homework sheet you would have picked up, on the back, can you please write these 4 dot phrases? You're going to make a paragraph using those 4. Now, read this. It says, laziness won't score too well. What's going to happen if we're lazy? Here, Mr. C will give you a lazy example. Staggering up the steps, she staggered. She was fearful about a fearful thing. This is what kids do. This is what lazy non-scribblers do. Hidden among the steps, something was hidden. After a long pause, she waited longer. Okay, that will score you minus 6,112.7 3/4. So put some thought into it, please. We want to give great points for great writing. I say this, good writing comes from good thinking. Great writing comes from great thinking. But you know what? Lazy thinking produces lazy writing. And here's the difference. If you treat these 4 sentence starts like you're talking to your friend, it's not going to be a great paragraph. If you treat it like literature, like an artwork, a piece of art that you're creating on paper, then it will be it will have more author quality to it. And that's what we're after here at Scribble Ink. We're always thinking. How can I make this a great paragraph? Speaking of which, I'm now going to show you an excerpt, which means a little piece, of my new favourite author. His name was John Updike. He wrote in the 1950s. He's considered one of America's greatest novelists. Now, when I started reading him this week, I can certainly understand why. He would have made a fantastic scribbler. When I read his sentences, my mind explodes with his construction of amazing phrases, the way he puts together his paragraphs like this. Let's have a look at one. I have added bold the original sentence. Have a look. This is describing a man's house. He's not really in love with his wife anymore. The place is really dirty and cluttered. So John Updike writes, the 2 bold bits, let's have a look. The clutter behind him in the room clings to his back like a tightening net. There is so much clutter in the room that as he goes to walk out the front door, it feels like all this clutter is grabbing onto him and holding him tightly. There's so much mess. But this technique, we're calling it the mega M- descriptor. He adds 8 things in there to show all this mess. As I read it, notice the use of the repeatedly. The clutter behind him in the room, can you tell us about the clutter? What do you mean? Sure. The old-fashioned glass with its corrupt dregs, the chock-full ashtray balanced on the easy chair arm, the rumpled rug, the floppy stacks of slippery newspapers, the kids' toys here and there broken and stuck and jammed, a leg off a doll, and a piece of bent cardboard that went with some breakfast box cutout, the rolls of fuzz under the heaters or radiators, the continual crisscrossing mess clings to his back like a tightening net. Look carefully. The old-fashioned glass with its corrupt dregs, that's longish. The chock-full ashtray balanced on the easy chair arm, that's longish. But look at the next one. The rumpled rug. A short one deliberately. He's mixing the length of these descriptors. Long, long, short, medium, etc. What you don't want is long, 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 long. I don't think that would work very well. So be mindful of mixing it up. we're going to have a go. In your writing books or on the back of one of those pages, please write the clutter behind him in the room. Go. There isn't a teacher in Australia possibly who will let you write that. It doesn't make sense, it's too long, you can't do that. You can't have a sentence more than 3 words. Or whatever. I'm not sure how your teacher speaks, but that's how I speak at school. And that's what I would say to a student who tried to do a cram dash descriptor. I would say, no, you can't put... But he is one of America's most awarded authors. How can a teacher, how can I complain with that technique when the man won awards, worldwide awards, okay? We show you at Scribble Ink the best, okay? We don't show you what is school stuff. We don't do that. We don't walk beside you and say, you're in grade 4, let's just do grade 4 stuff. We don't do that here. We stand at the top of professional writing. It's an advanced writing course that you are all enrolled in. You're learning professional techniques. I hear often, oh, but my child's teacher said, I know. Most recently, a parent said, my child's teacher said that's not appropriate for grade 3. I know. We're teaching you how to write like authors, not grade 3 kids. Right? Please understand the difference. That, no grade 3, that would hurt a grade 3 kid. They'd probably have to get the ambulance if they attempted writing that at school. These are not grade 3 techniques, or 4, or 5, or 6, or 7, or 8, or 9, or 10, or 11. But you chuck that down in a grade 12 essay, and that's our goal. At Scribble Ink, we want to produce the best OPs or ATARs with your writing possible. We would love some of you to become authors, so we just show you the best. So yeah, if a teacher says, respectfully, I mean that respectfully, yeah, I mean that respectfully too, respectfully, then understand they're right. That isn't grade 3 writing, okay? It's not. It's professional writing. We're making you professional writers, not good grade 3 writers. Okay, so you've just written the start. I'm going to give you 2 minutes to write a mess. Go. You've seen what he wrote. You pick some stuff. I'll start you off. The empty boxes of Krispy Kremes. Can you believe a student yesterday asked me, what are Krispy Kremes? They're donuts. Okay, you get them at the 7-Eleven and at the airport. The empty boxes of Krispy Kremes, comma. The blah, blah, blah. Go. See if you can come up with 8 things in 2 minutes. What would make your room messy? The mountains of unwashed clothes. Help me out. Who knows? Some of you with messy rooms or messy house. No, not house. You wouldn't have a messy house. But you would definitely have a messy room, some of you. So what's making the mess? I would say a jungle of Xbox cords. Okay? Who's got a mess? Go. Yeah.
Like on the ground there are lots of like books.
Okay, so you could have collections of books strewn across the floor, across the carpet. What else makes a mess, guys? Yeah.
Dust everywhere. Dust everywhere.
Dust, yeah. Thick layers of dust.
Undies on the floor.
Yeah, undies, or for some of us, nappies maybe. Used nappies. Anyone got used nappies on their bedroom floor at home? Anyone got used undies?
Actually, that's meaningless to say.
You know you can use them 4 times. First time, wear it normally. Second time, flip them around. Third time, inside out. Fourth time, inside out, the other way around. And by then, you could probably go the other way again. In the last group, one kid said his bedroom's full of empty beer cans. I sort of thought, I think he meant Fanta. Or Dr. Pepper. Does anyone like Dr. Pepper? Oh, it's gross. It honestly tastes like a bottle of medicine with a bottle of yuckiness added to it, and then some fizz. Shake it up. Dr. Pepper. It's disgusting. We're not affiliated with any drinking companies. Okay, up the back. Can I hear something in the mess, please? Okay, I know they're shy to say. Okay, it's not your bedroom you're describing. Let's call it, my friend's bedroom has, what? What do we got in the mess? Sporting goods. Laid in the corner. What else? Anyone? Yeah, you're looking at me like you want to say something. What do you got?
Full field of
What are they?
full field of unworn clothes.
Unworn clothes. What else? What about sandwich crusts? Obviously, when you're eating a sandwich and you don't eat the crust, just throw it on the ground. That's what I do at home. Pizza boxes. Mouldy pizzas. One child said noodle cups. A tower of noodle cups. Okay? That's messy. Then at the end of your mess, please write M dash clings to his back like a tightening net. At school, you would not be allowed to copy that. That would be copyright, but we're just practicing. So 8 descriptors in between the M dashes. That's awesome. It's powerful writing. I can't wait to show you next week another example of his writing. He's genius. I can't think of some, I'll have to work really hard to name some of these sentences that he makes, and we're going to teach you. It's professional writing. Really stretches our idea of how great a sentence can be, how complicated but still readable a sentence can be, and he's a master. All right. If you open now your Scribble book, you will go to the page that says M-descriptors 2, I believe. M-descriptor 2. All right, please find that. M-descriptor 2. Leaders will help you make sure you're on the right page. Stared at the damage. And now, for some reason, I imagined a car accident, right? It's happened. This person has arrived on the scene just recently, and it's perhaps his child's car. So an older man looking at this accident, which would be traumatic, absolutely. So he stared at the damage and all sounds ceased. They stopped as he thought about what could have caused this. So the idea is this: the sounds don't stop, but to this man who's suffering some kind of shock, all the sounds are shut out. He can't hear because he's so focused on what he sees before him. Okay? So it's not literally the sound stopping. The world does not stop its sound. There's always some sound, especially in our modern world that we live in. Even in, remote places, there are still natural sounds. So the sounds don't stop. But this writing technique works because it impacts the reader that the sound stopped. Whoa, something's happening to this character. So he stared at the damage in all sounds. So I'm asking you, what are some main sounds that we might be able to hear at the scene of a car accident?
The howling of police sirens.
Oh, the howling of police sirens. I'm going to put that on. The howling of police sirens. That's genius. What's another one now? Definitely police sirens. What else? Another major sound at an accident. It's already happened, so we don't want to hear the crunch of the cars.
What about the wailing of the mother? So in other words,
Could
the
be.
wailing is like this woman screaming out
Yep.
something.
Let's use that then. The wailing.
The wailing cries.
The wail. I was going to say bystanders, but they're more than that. Maybe there's 2 particular bystanders that know something has happened. I'm going to put, as an author, I'm thinking the wailing of 2 elderly female bystanders. That's interesting. That makes me as a reader go, interesting that 2 older ladies would be crying at the scene of this accident. It just adds interest. And that's your job as a writer, Your job, remember, isn't to just record what the occipital lobe says. That little visualization part in your brain that makes you go, and then this, and then this, and then this. That's not it at all. Our job is to think and create a piece of writing that engages the reader. It grabs the reader around the chest and squeezes and says, read me because I'm interesting. And that's what details like this do. Okay? So right now, on your page, and at home you'll have a PDF link. Make sure you click on it. Just chuck that in, I'm practicing. Let's go with our leaders.